Here we go. Thursday edition of the REKAP Lunch Hour with Guff. Me, Ryan McGuffey, right here on the REKAP on YouTube. Threw a question out there on social earlier, and definitely curious. It's a big game, and we're going to get into the well, maybe not implications, but certainly some of the betting and stuff that's gone on with it. The Four Nations final tonight between the United States and Canada has a lot of people jacked up. I would say that I'm kind of like lukewarm. I think it's awesome. Don't get me wrong. I'm gonna watch. Will you? I don't know. I think, look, there's not a lot to choose from right now. And I think like the NBA is back, which yay. But are you all in for the Four Nations final? I mean, the Bulls play the Knicks tonight in New York. I don't know who's all excited about that. And I mean, probably have a tough time watching it. Are you all in for the United States versus Canada? If it's anything like Saturday's game, sign me up. Where they were fighting 9 seconds in, we had 3 fights. Are you all in for the Four Nations format? Certainly, we got the ratings yesterday from the NBA All-Star Game. Second least viewed All-Star Game ever for the NBA. The format sucked. We know that. The NHL took a different approach with this Four Nations final. It's been a huge success. The biggest non-Stanley Cup rating since 2019. That right there alone is worth it. Eric, what's up, man? Looking forward to Four Nations Hockey Championship tonight, USA and Canada. Going to be fun to watch. Lou, the man with a new job. Proud of my guy, Lou Melgarejo. Put out a really cool video about his career. For those of you who are friends of the program, like Lou is and I'm very happy for you. How are they going to top the first time around 4 fights in 10 seconds? I'm a little worried, Lou, about the letdown, man. Like, and also, if Canada wins the game, talk about the ultimate deflate of a balloon. Like, that's another thing. It's like, I'm a little worried. Like, what if Canada wins 5-1? Is that going to make Saturday go away? I don't know. It's not going to take how cool that game was away, but I'd say maybe what if Canada flips the scripts and they go at and they're ready to start. The USA knew what they were doing going after Canada on Saturday. Lip Ripper, my guy. Hey, by the way, I hope you were all in on those Kentucky Wildcats, baby. Easy money. Freebird, as a Chicago fan, we haven't had much to cheer for as a Chicago sports fan. Hockey is the best big game sport to watch. In the playoffs, don't even get me started. There's no better playoff. The playoffs are so good. I mean, so good, and that's what this is. And give credit to the players for being all in and invested in this tournament because it's been fun to watch. And I wanted to pull up this betting. I'm only bringing up the betting angle for multiple reasons, obviously. But here you go. Sportsbooks across the United States report the Four Nations games thus far have outperformed average NHL regular season contests. DraftKings says its 4 most bet hockey games of the season have been from the tournament, while FanDuel says the Four Nations contests are averaging over 6 times as many bets as an average NHL game this regular season. Well, there you go. That alone tells you major success. Ray, I think it's a good program. Maybe add a few countries. Way to go. Play hard. I've heard some people say make the 4th spot a wild card spot where if you finish in 4th place in the tournament, you're relegated. Is it relegated? You're out, like in soccer. Boom, next team up. I kind of like that idea a lot because there's some really good hockey players that are not playing in this tournament. Landon, as they say in hockey, let's do that hockey. Chance the Rapper. The real Phil Sims. Look, there's a lot of comments coming in. You guys are jacked up. You're jacked, Phil. A USA winning 5-3. Let's see what you got. The over in the game. That would be fun, by the way. 5-3 in this game. Woo. Oh, baby. 5-3. Oh, boy. I'm all jacked up here now. 5-3 in a game. I think, let me take a look here. Sorry. Had it queued up and then hit the racing application in the old FanDuel app. And here we are. Canada, USA. The U.S., both teams even -110. So pick them. The U.S. -1.5 on the goal line, plus 235. The over-under, the total's only 5.5. The over's plus money. U.S. has pretty damn good goalie. What's up, William? Bucklow, I'll tune in But first, Cubs baseball on at 2 p.m. Yeah, I did. I do have that today. Today, actually, at Camelback Ranch, home of the White Sox and the Dodgers. The Cubs are at the Dodgers. We have real baseball being played. Let's go. It's pretty awesome. Means we're getting closer and closer, people. Closer and closer. Eric, here in a potential 2027 All-Star game at Wrigley. How cool would that be? It'd be awesome. What also would suck is if the 2027 season was canceled, which right now is possible/probable due to the upcoming labor strike. Swayze's got the U.S. in the over. That's plus money all around. 4-2. Lip Ripper last night, huge. Went 4-1. Nice on the Big Blue Nation, never in doubt. I thought that line was wrong. On a little heater here. Don't like to celebrate it. Let's just keep staying hot, Lip. 4-1. Big night. Big night. David, what's up? Happy Thursday to you. Nick Chubb and Joey Bosa have been linked to the Bears. I'd take Bosa, but I'm afraid of Chubb's injury. I can't imagine Nick Chubb's going to cost all that much. Keep in mind, you wouldn't be bringing him in to be the guy. It'd be kind of a thunder and lightning change of pace back. Don't buy into all the hype and all the rumors either. Like, there's going to be so many rumors between now and the next 3 weeks and then leading into the draft. So let's just read the rumors for what they are. I think the Bears are definitely trying to upgrade both of those positions. That's not that big of breaking news. And we go from there. Lou, back to Lou. Has the NHL gone too soft? I understand player safety and setting a good example for kids. Bring back fighting. That was the most fun hockey game I've watched in years. Yeah. I think there's kind of similar to what we were talking about the NBA All-Star game earlier this week. The rivalries are gone in some ways, Lou, because guys get paid more. They're friends. They train with each other throughout the offseason. There's not that built-in just disdain. Now, when you're talking about countries and hockey specifically, when Canada boos the United States, when Canada boos the anthem, I'm like flip a table over pissed. We don't do that shit at the United Center when they're singing "Oh Canada." We cheer. We don't say anything. We cheer for the national anthem, but to boo, that's a different level. That's different level. So that's disrespect. You want to go, and I understand there's a lot going on, but it's not the guys on the ice. You want to boo them? Let's go. I'm not surprised Canario got DFA'd by the Cubs. He was out of options, Sean, and he didn't really have a true spot on the roster. They had him playing at first base earlier in this spring training, saying don't read too much into it. Just saw this from my buddy Bruce Levine. Owen Casey is dealing with a groin strain, totally shut down. Casey had core surgery in the offseason. So much for that hot prospect. See, this is why prospects are prospects, people. This is why prospects are prospects. Bears finalized officially their coaching staff. Nothing, all that, like, we have the entire staff now. The entire staff is out. That's on it. The big names are there. We know them all. But yeah, looking forward to the Four Nations. Boston is for sure booing the Canadian national anthem tonight. That's a lock. So I'm not a big let's give it right back to him. But in this case, it's going to be loud. There's no doubt in my mind. There's going to be boos. He might be. I think this is the time of year where you start to see that. Usually it's later in the spring training where you start seeing guys traded because there's no roster spots. We'll see. OD bringing up the Bulls back at it. 12.5-point underdogs tonight at the Garden if you're shopping at home. That game does not interest me all that much. If I were betting that game, I would lay the points. But I never liked the first game off a break. Look at the Lakers last night. They were 12.5-point favorites at home to the lowly Charlotte Hornets. And LaMelo Ball carried the Hornets outright to victory. Not a big fan of the first game after the break. So maybe I'm talking myself into the Bulls. Bulls going to have another rough night. Add some Knicks props to your same game parlays. All right. So look, I don't think there's a soul on here. Now, I did see some people on Twitter saying go Canada. Steve, came at me with, yes, go Canada. But for the most part, everyone on here, let's be honest, folks. I mean, we're going for the United States of America. All right. By the way, I'm glad Canada had that game at home in Canada the other night, because it's going to get rowdy. Talk about a place to have the final. Boston, right? How about this too? How about the breaking news from the NBA? Victor Wembanyama out for the year with a blood clot in his shoulder. He's expected to recover and be ready to go for the 25-26 season. But this kid, I mean, he probably cared more about the NBA All-Star Game festivities than any one human being, certainly that played in the games, the crowd, etc. He returns to San Antonio, and they find that he's got a blood clot in his shoulder. He's been shut down for the year. He's ineligible for any of the awards. He can't be a part of Defensive Player of the Year, even though he leads the league in blocks. He was a minus 2,000 favorite to win Defensive Player of the Year. Think about that. If you had any of the backup. So now, like, that becomes, I wonder if that's even, they probably have to reset the market. But the lock of the year to be the Defensive Player of the Year, gone. Out for the year. I'm trying to bring up the awards here. Yeah, they took him down. They took him down. No awards out there right now. So it doesn't surprise me. But certainly shocking news for sure. What else have we got here? Defensive Player of the Year going to go to Jaren Jackson Jr. Probably Sean. What's up, Eli? Hopefully everything's good for you over the pond. Phil, what will it take for the Blackhawks to be relevant again? This team is hot garbage. And now Seth Jones is talking about being traded openly, saying that he knows his contract is an issue, but they're talking about working that out because he wants to win. Man, it's a mess. David, what's up, bud? Excited for baseball. It's finally here. Thank God I'm a baseball fan and not just a Sox fan. Let's effing go, America. Absolutely, David. And I believe, David, if I'm not mistaken, buddy, you're a veteran. So you got more passion for it than anybody, and I love it. Mo, watch the Spurs get the first overall pick and draft Cooper Flag. Holy shit, I didn't think about that, Mo. Could you imagine Cooper Flag and Wembanyama? God, that would suck. But you know what? Talk about, like, right now, let's be real about what the chances are. They have as much chance as the Chicago Bulls. They might even be, hang on for a second. Before I speculate. All right. So the Spurs right now are 23-29. The Bulls are 22-33. The Spurs right now are in the mix of the 10 worst teams in the NBA. The Bulls are, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The Bulls are 8th, and then Spurs are 10th. Mo, you're right on that, dude. Kyle, big comment here. Thanks, Guff, Cap, and Katie, for all your Chicago sports content. You're welcome. It's all great stuff. I'm all in tonight for the Four Nations final. If it's anything like the last game, it should be a great one. Start bench. Oh, man, you got a lot going on. Holy hell. Hang on for a second. Let me play the animation. We can't, you're comboing comments with start bench cut. But folks, we've had a start bench cut every single day this week. So I'll put this monster Kyle comment back up, and let's see what we got for start bench cut. It looks like Portillo's Foods. It is Portillo's food. Beef and cheddar croissant, spicy chicken sandwich. Oh my God. You're supposed to only pick 3, Kyle. All right. Beef and cheddar croissant, spicy chicken sandwich, Chicago style hot dog. Oh, okay. So you gave us your okay, my bad. A lot going on here. You're starting the beef and cheddar. You're benching the spicy chicken. You're cutting the hot dog. Wow. I'm going to start the spicy chicken. Their spicy chicken's really good. Their Chicago hot dog, man, it's really good. I feel like I can go to a lot of hot dog shops. You're right. I'm going to go start spicy, bench the beef, cut the hot dog. Kyle, well done, my friend. Let's see if other people chime in. Jerry, what's up, my dude? I started to lose interest in the NBA when they legalized traveling. I gave up when they made it mandatory. You know what, gambling? There he is, Clyde, working harder than all of us. I see the USA hockey winning tonight. Any Cubs Sox news? Cubs are playing baseball today. They're playing the Dodgers at 2:00. We did tape, me and Brian Anderson taped a White Sox recap podcast this morning. So that'll be out on the channel. Our impressions of camp thus far. Some thoughts on Luis Robert Jr., Andrew Benintendi. We got some sound in there from Will Venable. So check that out later on the channel. Watch, did the Bulls get the 1 pick for relevance reasons? We'll see. I don't feel like they're in the Cooper Flag sweepstakes at all, even though they are. Lip Ripper, I appreciate. Look, here we go. We got people chiming in now. Lip Ripper going to start the hot dog, bench the spicy chicken, cut the beef and cheddar. There are way other beef. See, I feel the same, Lip, about the hot dog. The difference with the beef and cheddar is that the croissant's a little different. It's a little different. Landon's going to go start spicy. Landon's he's on my track. Start the spicy, bench the beef, cut the dog. The problem is those are, like yesterday we had storms. Today we're doing Portillo's. Guys, well done on start, bench, cut. We got to get this sponsor. Any of you out there got a business? You want to spend some money on the recap? Let's go. Phil, right now, where do you see the Cubs as legitimate World Series contenders? I believe 2 more moves. Phil, I feel like every day you're worried, pal. I'm going to tell you right now. You want to know? Let's see where Vegas has the Cubs for World Series contenders. All right. Let's go. The Cubs, yeah, they don't feel high about them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12th. The Cubs they have is 12th on the. Here you go. Here are the teams ahead of them. The Dodgers, the favorites, the Yankees, the Braves, the Phillies, the Mets, the Orioles, the Astros, the Red Sox. The Red Sox at 22-1 is juicy to me. Padres, Texas Rangers, Seattle Mariners ahead of the Cubs, and then the Chicago Cubs at 30-1. If you're feeling frisky, 30-1 is juicy. If you can get Dahlman, Smith, and Jackson for the Rams for 70, would you go for it? Oh, boy. Man, that's pretty good. I think so. Swayze, I think so. Lip Ripper, Gene and Jude's the GOAT. No free ads. Call it start, bench, Guff. Ooh, but then Guff's the worst part of it, Landon. That's the only thing about it, man. Start. How about Guff, bench, cut? Nah, it doesn't work. Guff's the worst part. Cutting is the worst part of it. Sean says Buster only said on ESPN.com that the Cubs have the flexibility to make a move for someone like Arenado. They do. I don't know if those two teams will match up. I've heard that there's no expectation those two teams make a deal. That's what I've heard. Clyde starts the cheesy beef, benches the dog, and cuts anything spicy. Clyde, I'm a spicy guy. So even on my beef, I'm going to want the jardinera. Sean, what did you think of Tim Anderson's latest interview with our Chuck? That is out. I've only listened to a couple of minutes of it first. Good for Tim for acknowledging his past. So he made some personal decisions that weren't beneficial to his career or off the field. And he just got lost the last 2 years. Good stuff. Good job by Chuck tracking down his old buddy, Tim Anderson. Check that out on wherever you listen to podcasts. But yes, Sean, I definitely saw some good promos out there. Not worried, Guff. Ricketts talks about the next great Cubs team, just not seeing it. That's all. I totally understand. Godfather, Cubs could have been a World Series contender if the owner was serious about winning. And I think that's fair. Even though I think the Cubs had the 5th best offseason, 5th best, that's like, here's the top, they're down here. I hear what you're saying. David wants to start the spicy. He's with me. Bench the dog, cut the beef. A lot of good beef. There's a lot. That's why the dog and the beef here to me. But David, we could counter that by saying there's a lot of good spicy as well. So good question. The hook about the beef here, the beef on the croissant, just a little bit of a curveball there. They have the flexibility to make a big trade if they want to. That's true. And I also expect the Cubs to be, first of all, I expect the Cubs to win the division. Secondly, I expect them to be players at the trade deadline. And if that's the case, I think there could be more names available to trade from. I think they'll have more to pick. And again, the prospect stuff, like look at Owen Casey, ranked like 50th or something overall, and now he's shut down with no timetable. He had core surgery. That's why I said the Padres. People were talking about the Padres being a match for the Cubs for Dylan Cease, and the Padres are going to keep hang on to him. From what I was told, the Padres don't like the Cubs prospects after Matt Shaw. Well, that's 6 of the top 100. So I don't know. This might be as good of a start bench cut as I've ever seen. Holy crap. Wow. I can't believe one of these has to get cut. Wow. All right. So I think old school to me is a start. Old school started the entire run. Step Brothers is getting benched while Wedding Crashers is getting cut, even though I love so many and quote Wedding Crashers all the time. Step Brothers, the freelancing that happened in that movie, every time you watch it, it gets better. Old school to me started the whole run. It's a classic. It's a good time of my life. 2005. That's a great one, David. Wow. Lip, I almost picked this game. I want to tell you something about this game too. But out of the love for this great country, lay the hammer on the U.S. of A. I'm going to flirt with the puck line at plus 235. It's way too juicy not to flirt with it. FAU, which I believe this line's up to 8.5. And I think I might play. This was going to be my backup line. You're probably not going to like the game I have. But listen, I'm on a research little thing here, and I'm going to write it. FAU has Seinfeld night tonight. Wichita State's coming off a pretty damn good win. They beat Memphis outright on Saturday. Big win, actually. In overtime. Might have played a little bit of that game. And I just love the idea. Like, Michael Richards is going to be there, actually, as a guest. So it's dress up as Seinfeld night. You're thinking that place is going to be off the rocker a little bit. I think it's up to 8.5. I'm trying to find it here real quick. But yeah, Seinfeld night, Seinfeld night at FAU, Wichita State making the trek. It is 7.5. I like that pick, Lip Ripper. We'll get to my pick here in a minute. Eli, I'm not saying that they're going to win the division, but if the White Sox win the division, would that be the biggest surprise in sports history? Yes, they're 250-1 to win the division. 250-1 to win the division. That's never happened. No one can, Eli. There's no one the White Sox won 41 games. That would be like a 50-game improvement. That's like it's never. Yeah, Godfather, I'm with you, man. Dip it. Give me the Jard. Call it a day. Okay, we're playing. Hey, let's try to save some of the start bench cuts. Putting 50 on the red, white, and blue tonight. Let's effing go, Bird Dog. I love it. Let's go. That one, start Crashers bench, old school DFA on a minor league deal. Step Brothers. I'm gonna have to agree to disagree with you there, Landon. Duke, Illinois, going to be a great game on Saturday night. I love Duke in that game. The Illini are reeling right now. Then the big injury. I just think that Illinois, to me, Illinois is like the comp to Purdue the other night. I think Purdue needed a get right game. I think Illinois needs one. Certainly not Duke. So we'll see that. The 2 top picks will be in that Duke-Illinois game. Possibly. All right, let's get to, we knew Cooper Flagg will be. Well, if you think Ricketts was cheap the last 5 years, wait till the next 2. Well, the next 2 are going to be tough. We'll know more about how people are dealing with the future when we start seeing how teams start allocating money or lack thereof to their payrolls in the future. Breck is all over it. Start the chant. USA, you know they're going to boo the hell out of Canada and Boston. That place is going to be up for grabs. I saw that Barstool chief boarded a plane from Chicago this morning to Boston, which is really cool. James wants to chime in with the Cubs. Fear of signing a superstar. It's the 3rd largest media market. No reason we don't have one. And now we have Tucker's a superstar. The question is, will you extend him? I asked Tom Ricketts, who sat right there, what scares you more, AAV or years? He said years. All right, let's take a look at the bet of the day. We are on a little bit of a pretty good bender here, folks, in the best type of way. All right, Lip, for those of you who choose to dance with me, I know you were nervous about Kentucky last night. That one got out of hand in the second half. They ran away and hid. Won by 22. late night basketball for you to bet on after the USA takes home the Four Nations, pisses all over Canada. Yeah, I said it. That's fine by me. After that late night game, Oregon State at Pepperdine, just a dog shit game in most people's minds. Pepperdine is 10-17. They suck. Oregon State had Pepperdine earlier this year. We know the Pac-12 no longer exists, so they're out there playing in the West Coast Conference. Oregon State has something to play for here. They beat Pepperdine by 20 at Oregon State earlier this year. Pepperdine blows, and Oregon State is one of, if not the, let's see here. They're a top 10 team in the country against the spread. Pepperdine, just so everybody has a feel for them, they've also covered, they're kind of in a cover run, 4, 6, 7, 8 of their last 12 they've covered. Pepperdine, 10-17 overall. Here's where they are against the spread. They haven't covered 4 of the last 5. They haven't covered. Last week, they were 26-point underdogs to Gonzaga. They lost by 52. Gonzaga doubled up the spread. Now, they did beat San Diego when they were they did beat San Diego, who was 8.5-point favorites. They won outright. Loyola Marymount, they were a dog. They've been dogs to Portland. Anyway, long story short, I'm laying this 8.5. That's where I'm dancing tonight. I'm going to keep it going. I know you love Lip Ripper. I came straight at you with something out of your pocket here. You know I love late night hoops. You already know that we take the recap bet of the day. Let's keep this thing rolling. Let's keep this thing rolling because I don't want to talk about getting to 500. I've only been talking about it for a long time. We're inching, folks. Let's finish it. Why not get to 500 with the Beavers and the boys in blue? Maybe a little parlay. USA and the Oregon State Beavers. A very, very fun parlay. It would be a random ass parlay, too. All right, let's go. USA. 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 Hey, let's start tailgating now, folks. Put on the little helmet with the straws. Let's get it going. That place will be rowdy as hell. Boston's pre-partying right now. You know that. If there's ever been a site to see USA play Canada, it's Boston, Massachusetts. That place is going to be up for grabs. I'm looking forward to the anthem, the fights. It's going to be tense as hell. Kind of like the under. Not going to play that. Just going to sit back, relax. Look at Lip Ripper. Took the damn day off. That's commitment, man. I love it. The recap lunch hour is always with Guff. Appreciate you, everyone here at the recap. We thank you. Keep watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the notifications so every time we go live or send out new videos like the White Sox recap podcast, which will be out later today, you'll be alerted so you can watch immediately. Be nice to each other. I'm going to keep saying it. Pick up your neighbor. Not everyone's happy all the time, including ourselves. Look, ask for help. Love each other. Love yourself. Love your neighbor, and we'll be way better off. We're going to put a bow on this thing for the week tomorrow. The recap lunch hour, a Friday edition already. A Friday edition tomorrow. For that, I thank you. We'll see you. Have a great day. Go USA.